Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is FlossTube number 8 and it is my update for February 2021. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much to everybody that gave such lovely comments and that watched my previous video, which was the partner stitch quiz. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, I will include it in the links in the description. But it did include my boyfriend Mark, and everybody gave him such a warm welcome. I think he really enjoyed making the video. He was a little bit worried when I first suggested to him that we were going to make a video together and I was going to put him on my channel. But yeah, we both had so much fun making that video, and I'm really happy that people were kind of okay with the crude remarks that he made. That's very much our sense of humour. It was great to have him on my channel, and I'm already pestering him to make more videos with me, so hopefully you'll be seeing a bit more of him. So what have I got to update you? If you didn't watch that video, you may not know about this location. This is my dressing room. I've furnished it very recently and it is so close to being finished. I've promised that I'm going to make a video when it's completely finished. All we're waiting for now is to just put up some curtains, just some voile curtains. So we'll hopefully have that done really soon, and then I will make a video on it. I want to know what your thoughts are on me filming in this location. Part of me misses my old location because I had the flowers in the background. It seemed a bit more homely and like we were chilling out and relaxing together. The reason that I've been making videos in this room is simply because I'm lazy. It's so much easier making it in here because the lighting, I've got a mirror that's got these IKEA lights that run down the side of it. So the lighting in here is so good. I don't use any of my other lights. I don't use my ring light, or I had these other lights as well. So it is literally just so much easier for me to set up. So this has the benefit of the convenience. However, I would love to get your comments on it and your feedback just to know what you think. Does this feel a bit too formal, or are you quite happy to have my videos here? It's a lot easier for me to make, I'll be honest. So we've really enjoyed getting this room together and we're both really happy that it's almost finished. So we're kind of keeping up with that momentum and we are going to start decorating the office. That room, I've said, is Mark's room. He can decide what to do with it. He's quite into interior decorating, just as I am. I mean, we're not super into it, everything's from IKEA. But yeah, we both enjoy it and we have a similar style, so I've said to him, go for it, you can decide whatever you want for that room. So we're starting to pick things out for that, and yeah, it's going to be fun. It's certainly keeping us busy during lockdown. And then the only other thing really that I've got to update you guys on is the health programme that I started. I think I spoke about it in my last FlossTube, but I'd only just started it. I'm now on week 5 and I am planning to make a special video about it to go into what it is in a little bit more detail. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I have lost some weight, which is great, and just in general I feel so much better. One thing that I have had to do is cut out caffeine, and you'll notice that I've not got a cup of tea with me today because I've already had way too much caffeine. Me and Mark went for a bit of a wander, a bit of a walk earlier, and yeah, the main reason was because I woke up so much earlier than what I usually do. Today is a Saturday and I woke up at 6:30, which, if you know me personally, that is mental. I don't wake up that early. I don't wake up that early on a weekday. So yeah, that part of my life is actually going really well. It's a bit of a breath of fresh air to focus on my health a bit more, because I think that is something that I haven't really done in the past. I think I've been more career minded than me minded. So yeah, and I think whenever you're in a lockdown, that's the time to give yourself a little bit more TLC. So yeah, it's keeping me going, keeping my energy high. So yeah. So for this FlossTube, I wanted to do something a little bit different from what I usually do. Last FlossTube, I asked you guys for some advice and some help on what to do with my finish, which was afternoon nap. I'll put a picture on the screen in case you haven't seen that. I have actually made a decision on what I want to do, so let's have a look at these comments. I am going to be looking at my phone whilst I'm doing it. I'm sorry I didn't memorise your comments. But let's go. So we have a comment here from AC Stitchers, and they suggest to make an adorable project bag if I'm up for some sewing. If not, they think that the portfolio or stitching journal would be cute. So that is a really good suggestion. I don't think I feel quite confident enough yet to go for a project bag. And also I don't really use project bags. The bags that I use, I'll show you one. So these are the bags that I use. They're just these little pull thingies. And this was from lovecrafts.co.uk. When you order floss or whatever you order from them, they tend to come in these bags. So I had quite a few of them, and this is just what I tend to put my projects in. I don't normally have that many projects anyway, so yeah, I just keep them in this. But yeah, it's still a great suggestion, maybe one for the future, but I think for now I'm not quite confident enough yet to make a project bag. Another comment I had was from Minion Beck, and they suggested that I start a stitching journal, and that the pieces go in there, and Michelle Bendy has some videos about her journal. So this sent me down a little bit of a rabbit hole, which I will talk about in a bit more detail later. But I had no idea that stitching journals existed. I did not know what it was, so I googled it. I looked up Michelle Bendy's, and they look amazing. So for those that don't know what a stitching journal is, just as I didn't, it's kind of like a scrapbook. So I think it's a specially made book because the spine of it has to be quite wide to be able to put your projects in, but you make it almost like a scrapbook. I will link in the description Michelle's video where she talks about it, because hers is just stunning and it is another level of creativity which I think looks absolutely amazing. The reason that I didn't go for this one in the end was because I don't really know if I have the time to do that. I don't think I would keep it up, knowing me. But I do think that that is absolutely stunning and it is amazing. But I think the portfolio idea, which AC Stitchers also talked about in the previous comment, I think that's a bit more my style of just, I'm gonna shove it in there. I would probably back it on something, so either a hoop or some project board, just to keep it a bit sturdy, and then just shove it in a portfolio. So then the last suggestion that I had, which came from a couple of comments, was to make it into a cushion. So we have Joy Newitt, thank you so much for that suggestion, and also Christine Tyler, thank you again. That is a really good suggestion. It does require some sewing. I have sewn before. I made a dress a very long time ago and it wasn't a wearable dress. But yeah, I have used a sewing machine before, and maybe a cushion cover would be a good place to start. So yeah, I think I'm going to give it a go. I'll give that one a go certainly, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, coming soon, I guess. I will get around to it at some point. There are quite a few sewers in my family, so I'm sure that I can get somebody to help me. Yeah, I'll have to look up some tutorials as well, because I have no idea how you would do it with Ada and cross. Is it the same? I'd assume it's the same. I'm scared. I'm really scared because it is my stitching that took me a few months to make, but you know, we've all got to start somewhere, haven't we? And I'll just have to do another Rendale design if it goes wrong. Okay, that's enough of me blabbering away. Let's get into some stitching. So the first piece that I have to show you is an FFO. It is the secret project that I have been hinting about in my past couple of videos. I don't have it here with me, so on this channel that normally means that it is an appearance from Past Beth. So take it away. Hi everyone, it's Past Beth again, here to show you more cross stitch. So I have an FFO for you guys. This is what I have been working on that I kind of classed as my secret project. My stepsister recently gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, And I have completed this for her. Here where my hand is, there is just his name and the date that he was born, but I'm just covering it up because I haven't asked her permission to show his name, so I will respect their privacy. This pattern is by Emma Congdon, who is known as Stitchrovia at her store and on Instagram, and I honestly adored stitching on this. It was so lovely. I'm definitely going to stitch some more of Stitchrovia's because I think I finished this in like a week or two. It didn't take very long, but yeah, I loved working on the even weave as well. You guys know that I love even weave nowadays, and yeah, it was just honestly a joy to stitch. I love all the colours, I love the pattern in general with the words and with the different pictures as well. I think it's nursery rhyme related, so we've got the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumping over the moon, and Humpty Dumpty over here as well. I've just fully finished it in a frame for my sister to put up in baby's room, so yeah, sorry if there's a bit of glare on the glass, but yeah, there's my secret project. And we'll go back to future Beth. Thanks for the update, past Beth. So dumb. So I have now given my stepsister her gift and she was really pleased with it. She had said that she was secretly hoping that I was going to make something for her, so she was chuffed that I had made it and I think that she really liked it. So yeah, it's going to be going up in my nephew's room. The next piece that I have to show you is Spyro the Dragon, and this is a finish. So I mentioned in my last FlossTube that I was most likely going to finish this because I think I only had a little bit left. I can't actually remember where I was. I feel like I've flown through this so quickly that it's just been a complete blur. So I'll include my picture, as I always do. I include pictures showing where it was when we last spoke. But yeah, this is the finished piece. I feel like this time you can see the colour of the Ada a little bit better than you could last time. So it's like a light pink for the Ada, and then we've just got a little Spyro with Sparks, the dragonfly. I think that this one is so cute. I've had it in my stash for ages. And when did I get this? Last year. It was probably almost a year ago. A little bit less than a year, so a few months ago. But yeah, it was a delight to stitch. It was really fun, quick and easy. I love the colours. I love Spyro anyway. And I think that this is I can't even remember what I did because I did it so quickly. I think it's a 14 count Ada and I did it with 3 strands. I love the coverage of it. On 14 count. I need to fully finish this one now, and I think that this will be the first one to go into the portfolio, whatever I decide to get, and I really want to finish this one on a hoop. I don't know why, I think it would just look really cute in a circle and on a hoop, so that's how I'm going to be finishing this one. Next we'll move on to my whips. The first whip that I have to show you is Fellowship of the Ring. So with this one we have got a couple of page finishers. So when I last showed this to you, I had done... Why can't I remember? What is going on? I think I had done up to like here-ish. Yeah, I think it was up to like Aragorn's body over here. But I have now completed 2 of the silhouettes and we've got some of the ground as well. And this classed as page 4 and page 7. Like the last 3 pages are only like a couple of rows of 10. So yeah, I thought I might as well just finish it. And because it is completely black as well, I thought I'm going to be kind to myself and actually kind of, rather than finish, we got page 4 over here and then page 5 will be in the middle and page 6 over here. And then 7, 8, 9 will be like the lower 2 rows going all the way across. So if I left those till last, I would literally just be stitching the same colour all the way along, which would do my head in. So I thought I'll be a little bit kind to myself and space it out a little bit. But let me show you that one completely in a bit more detail. I feel like the colours are picked up a bit differently in this lighting, so it looks a little bit darker for you guys, I think. But it's a fairly accurate representation. I feel like it looks really good on camera. It doesn't look that good in real life. So I'll show you like a bit of a close-up. I've done this 2 strands on 14 count Ada, so there is a bit of bleed through, like you can see all the white in it, which is annoying, but hopefully that means that from far away it won't look too bad. This one is going to be a display piece, so I'm going to frame it and it will be going up in the office when we've completed it. So I kind of need to get my skates on with this one because we're decorating the office next. So we need something to put up on the walls. But to finish it off, again, after watching Michelle Bendy, I know that people, when they do full coverage, they stitch in diagonal. So you kind of start on this square and then it ends up being like those 3 squares and then those 5 squares. They're going up in like triangle numbers. But I never knew how people did it. I knew that that was kind of like the effect that you have at the end, but I didn't understand how you kind of get there. But after watching one of Michelle's videos, she explained it really, really well. So you start on 1 square and then I think you can either go down or across. I don't think it matters which. So let's say you go down and then you go diagonal up here and then across, diagonal there, and then down, diagonal there, diagonal there, diagonal there, and then across. So you just keep on going like that all the way until it is completely finished. So I'm thinking of doing that for this the last few pages that I've got of this one. I don't know if it'll make it go quicker or what, but I guess the only thing with this one is that the colours do go sideways. So as you can tell kind of from the top, the black is in this top chunk and then the next colour is in a chunk going all the way across and going like that. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying? But I want to try it anyway. We'll give it a go, see how it goes. My next piece is a whip and a new star and haul all in one. I've shown this pattern before. I've had the pattern for quite a while, but I finally started it. So here we have this piece. And I don't actually know what this is called. So I bought this from a Russian seller on Etsy. So there is a title of it, but it's in Russian and I don't speak Russian, so I'm just calling it B. The Ada that I've got is this gorgeous honeycomb, and again, I have shown this Ada before. However, the one that I showed you before was 14 count, and this one is actually 18 count. I ordered a new piece of fabric because this piece has blended stitches, which, if you don't know what a blended stitch is, it is where you will use one thread which is of one colour and another thread of another colour, put them together to make kind of a blend of 2 different colours, and you will stitch with those 2 threads. Now with 14 count, I could have done it with 2 strands, but similarly to Fellowship of the Ring, the coverage isn't as good and I'm not into it anymore. I'm gonna finish Fellowship and I do love it still, but part of me does wish that I had better coverage for it, but we are where we are. So for all my future pieces, if I'm stitching on 14 count, I want to do it with 3 strands. I was struggling to figure out how to do a blended thread with 3 strands. I couldn't figure it out. I did start Googling it, but then my lovely friend Alice was the saviour of the day, and she said that if I wanted to buy the 18 count, then she would buy my 14 count off me and she will find something to do because she loves honeycomb. And I said that she doesn't have to buy it, I'll just give it her, it's fine. So yeah, that one's not going to waste. Alice will make great use of it. So yeah, this is where I've gotten so far, and I did spend quite a bit of time on it, I guess. I think I've done more than I kind of realised. So yeah, I really love the coverage. I think it is a lot better than what it would have been in 14 count. It really does go all the way over the stitches. And yeah, I really love this. I think that this is a great time for spring because of all the floral pattern that's around it and all those colours. They are very kind of spring colours. So yeah, I'm enjoying this one. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what's going on. I'm scared. I have no idea what's happened to me. But this month, I've not really been into stitching. I'm sorry. So I did do a bit of stitching, but it's mainly been like the past couple of weeks. I've just not been that into it. Has anybody been in the same boat as me? Like, do you kind of, does it come and go when you have a stitching bug and when you don't? I found it hard to put my finger on it. I think there's a few things that are playing into it. One is that I've just been really tired, ironically, from this health thing that I'm doing that should give me more energy, but this week I've been super duper tired, and I think it's because of work. I've been pretty manic at work. It's been a lot busier, and even my colleague said that she feels a lot more tired than what she usually does, so I think it's normal. I've just been pretty busy, and when it comes to the evening, I just have no energy to do anything, and I just sit in front of the TV and just watch that for a while and then go to bed. Apologies if the angle has changed slightly. I was running out of battery, so I had to quickly change that, and also running out of memory because I've been talking for way too long. So I had to just like clear some memory in my memory card. But anyway, so my lack of motivation to stitch. So the other reason that I think that it could be, it may sound a little bit strange to people, shh. I don't know if you can hear Mark, he's getting mad at his game. Anyway, so I am somebody who suffers with anxiety, as I'm sure a lot of other people do. But the weird thing is that some of my anxiety is actually kind of good for me. Like, I call it good anxiety because it's something that motivates me, and don't think that this is like concerning or anything. Like, I have spoken to professionals and we have come to the conclusion together that I don't want to get rid of my anxiety completely. A lot of it is quite good for me and I do use it to my advantage. So I use it a lot for motivation, which really helps me at work. It helps me to stay organised, it helps me to meet deadlines, it keeps me on track. So when it comes to stitching, I did get a little bit of anxiety when I had what I deemed as too many whips, which was about 5, which I'm sure some people are like, are you kidding me? Like, you got anxiety from having 5 whips? What is wrong with you? But yeah, for me, I just felt like I wanted to have about 3, and then there's not too much pressure to work on it. But that's what the problem is. There's no pressure to work on anything. So I'm just like, I am inherently lazy, so I need some motivation if I'm gonna work on things. So I kind of want your advice on this a little bit. If there's any monogamous stitches or ex-monogamous stitches, that would be really handy, because part of me just wants to go out and just buy everything, and I'm just gonna start it and just like make my anxiety go haywire and just go for it, because then I will actually feel motivation, and then from that motivation it will make me fall in love with my pieces again. So yeah, I don't know, what do you think? Is that really dumb? Probably, I don't know, let me know. I kind of have already started buying some stuff. I've only bought 2 things though. I'm really waiting for Hello Petal to come out, which apparently is going to come out in March now. But I love how I'm saying that like everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's a new pattern from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, it was supposed to be coming out in February. It was supposed to be coming out in February. I love it how Stitchy Steph is always like, oh, excuse my children, and I'm just here like, my boyfriend's yelling in the other room. What was I even talking about? Okay. Hello Petal is a new pattern that is coming out from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. It was supposed to be coming out in February, but it's now been delayed a little bit to March. That's all that was. Okay, it's not important. Nobody cares. Anyway, so I have bought a couple of things. One I'm happy to share with you now because it was a digital download, and I have planned for my next full coverage piece. So I was originally going to finish Lord of the Rings and then move on to this one, but I've decided to just buy it anyway, and I've bought all the stuff for it. It's coming in the post. So this is what it is. This is from the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a video game. It originally came out on the PlayStation 1 back in the 90s, and they recently brought out a remake of it on the PS4. Mark adores that game. He loved it growing up on the PS1. So when the remake came out, he was really, really excited. And this has kind of been the first cross-stitch piece that he's been interested in. So I think that I was browsing on the website. It's from Nerdy Cross Stitch Art, and that's Sarah. Her website is the Cross Stitch Lair. So we were browsing on that website, and when he saw it, he thought, wow, that looks really cool. So it will be a nice piece to join the Fellowship of the Ring in the office. I wanted to do another full coverage anyway, so it was win-win for us both, and this is the first piece. Of course it's that piece, it's like a massive piece, and that's what Mark wants. But yeah, I'm happy to stitch it for him. I think it will look really cool, and I'm interested in stitching it anyway. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Hopefully I'll have the stuff for that next video and I can start it. The other bit of haul that I've got is a kit that is coming in the post. So when it actually arrives, I will show it you properly. I'm going to finish this video soon. It is now pretty much dark. I started this in the light and I just couldn't shut up today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, because I've not been stitching an awful lot, I have been watching quite a lot of FlossTube. So I've got some FlossTubers to recommend and share with you. The first one is Surrounded by Penises. I mean Darcy Cameron. If you don't get that reference, you need to go to his channel right now, go back and watch all of his videos and binge them just like I did. He is absolutely hilarious. So he swears quite a lot, which is my sense of humour anyway, and I find it to be a bit of breath of fresh air on FlossTube because I think everybody's so... In my last video with Mark, I mentioned that this is a wholesome community, and that's kind of how I view it. So to have somebody come along and drink beer and swear and make dick jokes is just such a juxtaposition that it makes it even more funny. And he's a funny guy anyway, so definitely, if you have not watched his videos, which you probably have, but if you haven't, go and watch him right now. He will make your day, honestly. His videos make me howl. I am just laughing so much at every single one of his videos. So yeah, go watch Darcy Cameron. I actually found, so I watched his most recent video last night, and I actually found that I found it a lot harder to make this video because I was like, well, I'm not gonna be as funny as Darcy, am I? Like, I like to crack little jokes and just be a little bit silly, but he's just next level. Like, I bow down. I'm never gonna be there, so I'll leave the comedy to him. The next FlossTuber that I have gone back and binged all of her videos is Evelyn Across the Pond. Evelyn is so lovely and just so, she's so clever, she's so lovely, she's so talented. Like, all of her fully finishes on her cross stitch projects I am in awe of. And I really wish that I could do that. On her most recent video she did, it was a piece from Liz Matthews, and it's like this little cushion, and she kind of went around the edge with some rope, I think it was. I don't know, go watch it. I don't know these things. But yeah, they are absolutely gorgeous. I love her style and her taste when it comes to cross stitch. In some pieces we've got quite a similar taste, that's why I like it so much, but even in the pieces that aren't what I would normally stitch, they look absolutely beautiful. One thing that really makes her videos stand out is that she is a historian and she is currently getting her PhD, and in each of her videos she goes over, she calls it her material minute, and she will go over a historic thing, a historic piece. In her last video it was actually cross stitch related, and it was a piece of embroidery / cross stitch, and she goes into the history behind it and where it has been through history, who created it, where it went, and I love history. When I went to university for a month, I studied history because I do really enjoy history, so I love that little bit of extra flair that she adds to her videos in the Material Minute. And the last FlossTuber that I'm gonna recommend was the one that was recommended to me in the comments from the segment earlier, and that is Michelle Bendy. I apparently have been living under a rock and I didn't know about Michelle. I hadn't watched her videos before. And if you are similar to me, and maybe we were in that rock together, I don't know, but if you're similar to me and you haven't heard of her either, go and check out her videos. She has some really powerful messages in her videos. You can tell that she's really passionate about equalities and talks a lot about different organisations and social situations that are going on, and it makes for really interesting viewing. As well as that, she's really talented when it comes to cross stitch. I mentioned the journal before, that was gorgeous. And one thing that I've seen in the few videos that I've watched, I didn't have time to go back and watch them all because there's so many, is that she kind of tweaks patterns a little bit and she'll share them with other people, but will make sure that they've actually bought it. She won't just send out random patterns that other people have made that she's adapted a little bit. She will make sure that the people have actually bought it from the person. But the most recent one that she's made changes to was, I don't know what the piece is, I don't know what it's called, but she put more of a Native American twist on it. She changed the hair colour and the skin colour, and then she also designed a red hand to go across the face, which has meaning in that culture. So yeah, she's really knowledgeable on that sort of stuff and it's really interesting to watch, and she puts her own spin on her stitching as well. She's really creative, really talented. I'm gonna stop talking now because I could just talk about people I'm in awe of all day. And that's it. That's all I've got for today. Let me know what your thoughts are about this video. This one was a lot more chatty. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry that there wasn't as much stitching as usual, but I hope that you've had fun anyway and had an enjoyable time. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see some more from me, and don't forget to leave a comment about what I should do about my my want to spend at the minute. Should I just go for it and buy all the pieces, or with having two on the way, should I just wait for them to arrive and see how I feel then? I don't know. Let me know. I'm gonna stop talking now. Bye.